What's going on, everybody? It is your brother in the struggle. My name is Chris, and I am here with somebody very special who is graduating from the Porn Reboot implementation group. I have Ron with me today. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good today, and thank you for having me.
And thank you for being here, man. Let's crack right into it. Out of curiosity, how did you first go about finding the implementation group?
I was looking around. I knew I had a problem. I checked out a couple others, and I came across JK's stuff on Facebook, and it just clicked with me. It sounded like a good program, and I got into it. It was a very rough time in my marriage and my life for me, and it helped out immensely.
I'm curious as to what stood out about JK or what he was saying or what he had to offer that made you say, yeah, I want to invest in that. I want to join that group.
I think it was the whole no nonsense thing. You get in it and do it, or get out and go about your life as you're going to live it, whatever it was. And he was very straightforward. And I really like that, because there's a lot of people in this world that are not straightforward at all.
100%. Yeah. Just really like flimsy, maybe wishy-washy, but yeah, he's just right. This is what it is. Take it or leave it. 100%. So if you feel comfortable with sharing, you can go in as much or as little detail as you choose, but what types of compulsive behaviors were you working with or working through before you joined the program?
An addiction to pornography online. It started at a young age. I saw I'm going to date myself here, my first Playboy centerfold when I was 8, and that was probably the start of it.
Mm-hmm.
And exposures to magazines, and then, of course, with the explosion of the internet, it was one mouse click away.
Absolutely. Yep.
And the other thing I liked about the program is they recommended Covenant Eyes, and that's been, for lack of a better term, my watchdog, my babysitter, and finding good people to be accountability partners. That a two-way street there. Hey, what are you doing? What are you looking at? And I've got the same thing back from them. Hey, notice this on your Covenant Eyes. What's going on? So.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you sharing all that. And I definitely want to dive into bits and pieces of what you just shared there, because one of the big parts of our program is finding an accountability partner. No man is an island in this group. Nobody's doing it all by themselves, trying to figure it all out. You've got somebody to keep you in check and someone to keep in check. So like you said, it's a two-way street. What's been your experience like working with an accountability partner?
Sometimes it was the timing. One AP is on the East Coast, one's out in California.
I do the same thing, yeah.
And Arizona doesn't play daylight savings time. And a lot of times that was, hey, I'd send a message, and like everybody, I would like an immediate response, but there were times when it was 2, 4, or 6 hours, like, yeah, I'm good. Or, hey, can I call? Unfortunately, I did have one AP that left the program. Apparently it was not for him, so.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. That's okay. But yeah, like I said, APs, there's the concept of seasons that's spoken about often. I know JK talks about it a bunch. Like sometimes APs, you'll be with them for a certain amount of time, and then once maybe your priorities change, your goals change, what have you, it might be time to maybe link up with someone with a similar goal or mindset or reboot definition or what have you. So that's okay. And it's very common and it's totally normal. So, but that's just one aspect of the group that you had touched upon. I'm curious about, you joined the group and you're getting exposed to a lot of information right from the beginning, but having gone through what you've gone through, learned what you've learned, and experienced what you have, what types of changes do you, or I should say, what types of changes have you seen in yourself with your time in the group?
I've learned to recognize my triggers and avoid them, or at the bare minimum, acknowledge them, refer back to my notebook from all my notes and my journals. I can go back and say, okay, yeah, I was feeling that way on this day so many months ago. And this is what I did to cope with it. And the big one is letting an AP notice, hey, I'm having some urges. They come back and give you support, and I do the same thing. I've learned to ignore that stuff, like when you open up Yahoo and it's 2 news events and then some star in a dress or a bikini. I just scroll right past those right now instead of saying, ooh, let me see her. And I do realize how easy it is just to, well, I'll just take a quick look.
Yeah.
And I don't take that quick look anymore. Book is notorious for that stuff too, and scroll past it or hit the I don't want to see this anymore button.
Mm-hmm.
The other things, Dr. Rankin helped me with a few things. Dr. Eastman was immensely helpful with some trauma that I dealt with. That wasn't exactly, well, some of it was related to the porn addiction. A big chunk of it was something else that happened in my life that caused some issues.
For sure. No, absolutely. So you had touched upon meeting with Dr. Rankin, Dr. Eastman. A big thing in our group that is fairly new but very exciting is our group coaching calls, and everybody in the group has the ability to actually like book a one-on-one call. So can you explain, or can you describe a little bit of your experience with that?
I think when I got the implementation program, I had the 6 one-on-one calls.
Yeah.
I did 2 with Dr. Rankin. He was very good at helping me set up the boundaries and whatnot, and realizing where they were, and actually identifying what some of my triggers were. And then as far as I took the other 4 with Dr. Eastman because she helped me deal with a huge trauma in my life on top of the porn addiction, and basically was telling me, okay, this is not porn related, but I was at Ramstein Air Base when they had the air show crash back in 1988, and she helped me realize some stuff about that and how to deal with those memories, and it's made a big difference. It's something that's always going to be there, but she gave me the tools to deal with it much more efficiently.
Great. No, that's
and that helps.
Mm-hmm.
Dealing with those tools helped me deal with the trauma that was caused by this addiction between me and my wife and my family.
Mm-hmm.
So
thank you so much for sharing that. Seriously, thank you so much. With your time in the program, what types of tools have you learned about?
Number 1, big one, keep your devices clean.
Yeah, cleaning house.
Number 2 is recognizing your triggers and doing what you need to avoid them or sidestep them, or however you feel comfortable dealing with them. And accountability. And a big part of the accountability is accountability to yourself.
Can you expand on that a little bit? Because that's really good.
I believe accountability starts with yourself personally. A, I have a problem. B, what can I do to fix or reduce this problem, make myself a better person? Journaling helps a lot with the feelings, especially the feeling exercises. Beginning, I feel totally depressed today or whatever, and then addressing it and then trying to change it.
Right.
But making sure you stay accountable to yourself, along with your accountability partners, and to the group in general.
Yep.
Is a good thing. Watching some of the podcasts and some of the videos where people are saying, hey, I had a slip, and you're like, hey, dude, offering support. Well, sometimes you got to support yourself. Hey, I know I'm better than this. I can beat this.
100%. Yeah, it can be, and that's human nature, right? Like, we can be so quick to assist someone else, but wouldn't be as keen on giving ourselves a similar amount of help. It's crazy.
Self-reflection isn't always easy.
Definitely not. Yeah.
But
I love what you said about being accountable to yourself. It applies to something like Covenant Eyes, right? It's a deterrent, but it's an obstacle or a boundary toward stuff that's proven to be unhealthy for us on the internet. But at the end of the day, the best deterrent we're ever going to have is us.
Yeah.
It's no matter where we go, there we are, as the cliche says. But I really appreciate you touching on that because it's so important. So thank you. I'd be curious to know, because like we said, like when you first join this group, there's a lot of information that's thrown your way. It's like, who is JK? What's a reboot hero? There's just a lot of things going on, a lot of modules to sift through. I remember when I first joined, there was maybe like a little bit of overwhelm and things like that. I was feeling very maybe anxious, and given my own history of behavioral patterns that were unhealthy for me, I was similar to you. I was just not in a good way. But I'm curious, what I want to ask you is this. Having experienced what you've experienced and having learned what you have, applied what you have, and having put in the proper work to get yourself to a higher place, I'm curious as to what you might say to somebody who might be just joining and feeling that sense of anxiety or confusion or overwhelm, someone that has spent a long time struggling in silence the way you and I have. Is there anybody that you might want to, is there anything you want to say to that person?
I think I would like to say something along the lines of this, because when I was doing the program and they had this module's open this week, we won't open another one until you complete this module. And honestly, there was times when I looked at it and was like, no, I'm done. I don't want to do this. Don't stop. It gets easier the more you do it. Keep at it. Stay steady and strong with the course. Ask for help when you need it. And it'll get easier as time goes by. The first couple of exercises, and no, I don't want to even think about that stuff right now. Because you're gonna have to look at yourself, and you're gonna have to see and realize what you're doing was bad for you and possibly bad for your loved ones. And you're gonna have to strong look at yourself, and you may want to stop, but don't stop. Don't ever stop. Stay on this program. I still go back and read through my journals from time to time.
Me too.
I reviewed the first 4 or 5 modules every once in a while, just so it stays fresh. And I would do that while I completed module number 1, getting ready to start module number 2. I just go through my notes on module number 1, just a quick scan to see if I'm still meeting these goals or this part of this thing, so I can press on to module number 2. And there were times when I wanted to push forward, but the next module wouldn't open up for a set number of days. Yeah, I'm ready to do the next module. Okay, now what? Got it done. Okay. And that's, again, I went back and I looked at my notes and tried to make sure I was staying on course, because I've seen a lot of people post videos like, ooh, I slipped, or the posts on Facebook, I had a slip or I had a relapse. And that would be the other thing I would say. A slip or a relapse isn't the end. Use it for a tool to learn, okay, I was doing this and it caused a relapse. I got to stop watching this TV show or something. I also modified what I was watching on TV a lot. And there were times, and with my wife's help, there were times when we were watching movies and an explicit scene would come on and she'd be like, let me fast forward through this.
That's so good. That's so good. Thank you so much for sharing that. So if you knew somebody who confided in you and they said that they were struggling with this type of behavior, would you recommend this program to them?
Oh, absolutely.
That's awesome. Why is that?
Because it helped me out immensely. It helped save my marriage. I think we're stronger now than we were a year ago. And we did have some marriage counseling with an outside, somebody not associated with Reboot, but that was something we did together and that helped us too.
That's awesome. Congratulations on that alone. That is, we know like how much like these series of behaviors have, proven to be like a real detriment to relationships, and the fact that you said it yourself, like you guys now are stronger now than you were a year ago. I'm like sincerely moved. That's amazing. That's really amazing, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, before we kind of wrap things up here, do you have any last words for somebody, like I said, who might be on the fence about joining the group or might be considering it? Any last words?
The military in me wants to tell them to use something that's total, I'll try to keep it crap or get off the pot already. Get on with it. Do it. Jump in and get it done. It'll be a good thing for you. Your life will be better once you get through this program. And it'll give you the tools to deal with this. And some of the tools you're getting from this will be applicable with other things in your life. It could help you succeed. It definitely sets up a plan, which may help you to set up other plans to be successful in other parts of your life. So,
Ron, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. You have a good rest of your day.
You too.